How do you get past like looking at a blank screen? How do you get past that to getting your first line or whatever, your first piece of movement towards your art?
I'd say the most accurate experience I've had with this is songwriting.
Yeah.
And I was in my studio in Texas, and I was working on something for 3 days with no breakthrough. It was It was horrible. I was like so done. You know, I was, all my vision was blurry. I was just like, this is stupid. I was mad, and even during that time, you know, like obviously there's great, you know, take walks.
Yeah.
Go for rest your brain. Take a walk. Take a nap. Get a drink. You know, just like shake it up. Change the scenery. Do something. But I remember I had done all those things, and it was still, it was the first day, spent all day and just couldn't get anything. Second day, spent all day, couldn't get anything. And the third day, in the afternoon, I specifically remember I was like propped up on my, the kitchen countertops in my studio, sitting there Indian style. Like I was out of my mind at this point. I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was just like banging my head against the wall. And then immediately, boom, something hit me. And I was like, wait, that's good. And it was like the floodgates opened. And so it just like came out of me, finished the song that afternoon. Dang. And it was a really good song. And so I think the idea is you can't quit.
Yeah.
You can't quit, and then you have to show back up. And so, you know. The next day, exactly. And you know, there might be a point, and this would happen often. It's like, you know what, it's 5 p.m. I've written one line today. It wasn't even a great line, but I showed up and I did the work.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything more today. Like I'm going home. You know.
Yeah.
I gotta rest it. But then the next morning, 9 a.m., you show up.
Yeah.
And that next day, didn't get anything. So at 5 p.m., you know, it's like, you don't want to be a slave driver of yourself.
Sure.
You want to still enjoy what you're doing. And so it's like, you know what? Can't get anything. But guess what? I showed up and I wrote one line, even if it's a crappy line. And then the next day, show up at 9 a.m.
Yep.
And then that third day, that's when the song came. And then, you know, that was the most extreme example of that.
Yeah, sure.
But, you know, it could be half a day. It could be a whole day when you're
Do you remember what song was that? Was that one that released?
I don't remember what song that was, honestly. No, I'd be making it up if I told you. But that happens often.
Yeah, sure.
Not to that extent, but that happened
well, I'm curious,
quite often.
Does that happen to songs that don't even make it to the album?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think I wrote 52 songs in the 16 months leading up to our recording, and 10 of them got recorded, and again, like I said earlier, songs 11 through 15 to 20 are really good.
Yeah.
They either weren't the right fit for the album, or, you know, we're talking about, you know, doing another project, and they'll be on that project. Some of them will be on that project, but, you know, songs 21 through 52, throw those away.
Yeah.
But you still poured your heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
It's still a good experience.
That's crazy.
You still learn how to write better. But an interesting thing too is that in terms of showing up, I always found that once you got the bulk of a project done, the last 5 songs you wrote, probably all of them were going to be incredible songs that were going to go on the record. So when we released, the reason we got our record deal in 2021 was because 3 songs that released in 2020. And I had written, for those 3 songs, it was like a 3-song EP. Well, it was really 3 singles that all did well. And that's kind of what got Warner Music's attention. But I was writing in 2019 for these songs that released in 2020, and I probably wrote 20 songs for these 3. The first 16 songs literally never saw the light of day. They all got trashed of those 20. The first 16 were trash. Songs 17, 19, and 20 were the 3 songs that killed it the next year.
That's crazy.
So exactly. So it's like it's this growth. If we would have just stopped at 12, those songs would have never been written. And so you just have to keep going until it's excellent.
Wait, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. And the same with the album that we recorded with Warner in 2021. Wrote from the beginning of 2020 to the middle of 2021. And there were a few throughout 2020 that we used, but the majority of the songs, I'd say 7 of the songs, were written within the last 3 months of culminating to going into record the album.
Okay, so with that, how do you know when to quit? Like, what if you wrote to 100 songs?
How do you know when the project is done, or how do you know when you should quit?
I mean, if the last 5 songs are the best,
Yeah.
how do you know that you shouldn't write one more, and that one's going to be even better, or one more after that?
That's a
or
great
10 more
question.
after that.
Yeah. I think you know.
Yeah.
I think you just know.
Do you run out of time? You just like,
Yes.
I got to get this out.
Natural time limits, and that's another artist dilemma. Is
Yeah.
I'm going to release next month. Well, next month.
Yeah.
Next month.
Yeah.
So I mean, eventually you got to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
For me, I always knew, we have a goal, have a timeline, have a deadline. Another thing artists are bad at, having a deadline. So we always, as a band, we have deadlines, and we're like, okay, we want to release in November, early November, or late October, skip the Christmas rush, and then February and April. And I'm talking about singles, and so we knew we had those deadlines, and so when the deadline was there, we're like, okay, we got to go to the studio and record these songs to get it done with our deadline. So I think deadlines are necessary, and also being generous with yourself and knowing that it's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. It's really easy to go way radical on either side of like, it's never good enough. It's never good enough. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. However, you can also go the other way and be like, well, it's good enough. Like, let's just release it. And it's like, no, that's crappy.
Yeah.
And so finding that line is where the gold is.
Yeah.
And being able to pull the trigger. I think having people around you in the industry, having people around you in the artistry of it is really helpful. And having a deadline. Like, okay, what do we want to do? When do we want to release? What kind of project do we want to release? Have these visions and set a timeline on it and get it done and show up. But the problem would come if you set the deadline and then you didn't show up for 6 months and you're like, oh no, we have 2 weeks to write an album. I'm not saying it hasn't been done. Obviously it has been done.
Yeah.
But your normal artist is not going to be able to come in and create an entire project that is excellent in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think just accountability, timelines, that's when you get into the structure.
Yeah.
And then and send to your friends who are also in the music industry. That's what I had a songwriting mentor who has won awards, and he was a very, very, very successful songwriter, and I'd send him everything. And the first 10 songs I sent him, first of all, they sucked. I didn't realize it at the time. And he ripped them apart.
Oh, really?
He ripped them apart. But guess what? Everyone was a little bit less. It was a little bit better. And then by song 15, he was like, dude, this is awesome. And I knew I could trust him.
Yeah.
Because he had told me the first song that I ever sent him, he was like, this isn't great. And here's why. And he told me the truth. And basically I still remember that night, we spent 3 hours on the phone dissecting this phone. Basically him telling me how much it sucked.
Yeah.
But I respected it. And I respected him for telling me the truth, because there's so many people that will just say, oh, it's great. Yeah, it sounds good. It's like, you want somebody that can tell you the truth. And so this songwriting mentor of mine listened And he told me, it sucks. But then the next one sucked a little bit less.
Yeah.
And he was always good at saying like, hey, but this aspect is really good. Like, do more of this. So it was an encouraging, it wasn't just like a shutdown. It was like this is not great, but this little part, do more of that. And, 3 years later, as I was still sending him songs, and he was like, this is unbelievable. I love this. I'm going to send this around to my network. I knew I could trust him because he had told me the truth when it was bad, and I knew that he was telling me the truth when it was good.
Yeah.
So, and there were still songs in those
cool.
when I was what I would call proficient, that what I was doing, and he would be like, it's good. It's, I don't love it, but, and so then again, when he said like, this is good, I knew it.
Yeah.
So find somebody like that.
Yeah.